Welcome students. In last class we have seen about iteration or looping. In that we have discussed about while loop. Today we are going to discuss about for loop. For loop is an entry check loop and it is most comfortable loop. Entry check loop means when the condition is given at the beginning, that is called entry check loop. If the condition is given at the end, that is called exit check loop. Let us see the syntax of the for loop. For counter variable in sequence, if the given condition is true, statement block 1 will be executed. In for loop also, like while loop, else part is there. The condition is not satisfied, it comes to the else part. In while loop, control variable is there. Instead of control variable, in for loop, counter variable is there. But both are same. Sequence in syntax refers to initial, final and increment value. Usually in Python, in for loop, range function is used. That range function has start, stop and step. Start means the value, the beginning number. Stop means the ending value, and step means how many steps we are moving, that is step. Stop always taken as stop minus 1. If 1 to 30 means it starts from 1, it ends by 29. That is 30 means stop minus 1, 30 minus 1, 29. So like that only we are using in for loop. Let us see the syntax of range. Range of start, stop and step. Start refers to the initial value and stop refers to the final value and step refers to the increment value, that it is optional. If you want you can give, otherwise it is optional. By seeing the example you can clearly understand how it will function. See the example, range of 1, 30, 1. 1 is start, 30 is stop and 1 is step. One by one it moves. So it starts from 1 to 29 because stop means stop minus 1. So 30 minus 1, 29. So it starts from 1 to 29. And then next example, 2, 30, 2. This range starts from 2 and ends by 28. Because step is 2, so it has taken us 2, 4, 6, 8 like that. It ends by 28. Next example, 30, 3, minus 3. 30 is the starting value and the ending value is 6 because the step is minus 3. So first it has taken us 30, 27, 24 like that it is going on. Finally 3 step ahead, so we are getting the end as 6. Next example, range of 20, that we consider as the value 20 as the end value, that is 0 to 19 because it is stop minus 1. So in for loop we are using this range. Let us see the example to print the single digit even number. By this example we can easily understand about the for loop. That is for I in range 2, 10, 2. That is 2 is the starting value. So 2 we are printing first 2. Next the loop continues and 4, 6, 8 because up to 10 only step value is 2. So we are printing the even number. In first example else part is not there. In second example, else part we have used. So what will be the output of the second example? 2, 4, 6, 8 will come. After that, the loop will not continue. It comes out of the loop. So else part will be executed. In else part, what it is there? End of the loop. So the end of the loop will be coming. So this is the example for the for loop. Next, we will go for the nested loop structure. Nested loop structure means many loops are there, while loop, for loop, but we are giving in a program, one loop inside another loop is there. A loop within another loop is called as nested loop. Inside the for loop, while loop may be there. Inside the while loop, for loop may be there. Like that, if we are giving means, that is called nested loop. Here it is given while within another while and another while. For within for. One for statement is there. Inside the for statement, another one for statement is there. And next one, for within while and while within for. So this type of looping structures will be there. This is called nested loop. Let us see the example for the nested loop. Here, while loop within for loop. Inside the while loop, for loop is there. Let us see the first line of this example. I equal 1 while I less than equal 6. That is, I value is 1. 1 less than equal 6 is true. So it goes for the next line, that is for j in range 1 comma I. Starting value is 1 and ending value is I. So now 1 is taken. So the output will be first it prints the j value, that is 1. So it is printing the output as 1. Next term, I equal to I plus 1. So the 1 will be changed into 2. So what the for loop will do, it will print the j value as 1 and also 2. So it is printing 1 and 2. Next term, it will go, I will be incremented 3. So it is printing 2, 1, 2, 3. After that, the loop will be repeated, that is 4 less than equal to 6. So it is printing 1, 2, 3, 4. And next step, 5 less than equal to 6. It is printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 less than equal to 6 is also true, but it will not print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because for loop will take only up to 1 to 5. Final value is 6 also. It will take 5 only. Already I said stop minus 1. So 6 minus 1, 5. So the output will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this is the example for the nested loop. Next, we will go for the jump statements in Python. By the name itself, we are understanding that jump means it jumps from one part of the program to the another. That is, it is transferring the control from one part to another. There are 3 types of jump statements in Python, that is break, continue and pass. This is the execution of the break and continue statement in Python. First we are giving the condition. The condition is true, it goes to the statement block. In that statement block we can give break statement or continue statement. If you give break, it comes out of the loop. If you give continue, it again continue and goes to the condition. If the condition is false, it comes to the else part. In the break statement part will not be executed. So condition true means break statement part will be executed. Condition false means else part will be executed. If you are giving break statement in a looping, if the interpreter sees the break, immediately it comes out of the loop. So break statement terminates the loop containing it. It comes out of the loop immediately. It comes out of the loop. And the syntax for the break statement is break. Just we are giving break. That's enough. And the execution of the break statement, condition, if the condition is true, if break is there, it comes out of the loop. That is, it comes to exit the loop. Okay. Next, in if, how we are using break statement, and in while, how we are using break statement, it is explained clearly. In if condition, the break statement has been used means after seeing the break, it comes outside the for loop. Inside the for loop only we have given break. So after seeing this break, it comes outside the for loop. In while, we are using the break statement. Immediately after seeing the break, it comes outside the while loop. So like this only, the break statement will be executed. Let us see the example for break statement. Here the word has been given as jump statement. If word equal to E, so it is calculated from J to E. The space is also taken, that is JUMP, one space is there, and next STATE. After seeing the E, the break statement will be executed because word consists E only. E equal to E means true. After seeing that, it comes to the break, so it comes out of the loop. So the output of this program will be JUMP STAT. Okay, so this is the example for the break statement. Next, continue statement. Break statement is used to skip the remaining part of the loop, but continue statement, it starts with the next iteration. It goes to the next iteration. Syntax is continue, and the execution of the continue statement is by seeing the test expression. If it is true, it goes for the continue. If it is continue yes means again it goes for the next iteration, that is for looping. It is continuing the loop till it becomes false. So that is the continue statement. And continue statement works in the for loop and also in the while loop. If after seeing the continue in for loop, again the loop will be executed. It will not be comes outside the for loop. In while loop also, after seeing the continue statement, it will be repeated. It will not come outside the while loop. Let us see the example. If you are using break here, after seeing E, that is true, it print as jump STAT. But continue statement, it continues till the end of the word, that is jump statement, JUMP space STATEMENT. After that, finally the end of the program is also printed. So the end of the line has been printed as end of the program. So this is the example for the continue statement. Next one is pass statement. Pass statement is called a null statement. After seeing this pass statement, the interpreter just ignores this one. Just the operation will be stopped. No operation will happen. After that, the next thing will be executed. That is called pass statement. In this example, see how the pass statement is working. For val in computer pass and print end of the loop, loop structure will be built in, future is given. So first line will be executed, second line pass, so the operation stops for a while and then it will be executed. Finally we are getting the output as end of the loop, loop structure will be built in future. So that's all. So nothing will happen when you are giving pass, that operation will be stopped for a while. So today's class we have discussed about the looping structure, for loop, nested loop and jump statements in Python. 3 jump statements are break, continue and pass. So we have completed the 6th chapter, that is control structure. This control structure is entirely about sequencing statement, alternative statement and looping structures. Sequence statements we have seen, and next alternative, simple if else and if elif statement we have discussed, and also finally we have seen about the iteration or looping statement, that is while, for and jump statements. We have understand about all these things. Just to go through these topics. In next class we will see. Thank you.